Hey guys, the POV photo guy is here, and yes, we are waited so long for this. The OM-3 is here.
Watch me lean up against the washing machine.
Yard man thing, cause this a yard man thing. Yard man thing, cause this a yard man thing. Yard man thing, cause this a yard man thing. Yard man thing.
Okay, maybe we are waiting for the Pen F2 version. It's actually the OM-3, but let me tell you, it's the best combination. Before we further going, I have to tell you, this video is not sponsored by the OM system. I just got the camera for a few days and I have to give it back, and they have no voice in about my thoughts. If I have to choose two cameras what I really love to use, one is the Olympus Pen F, what is over 7 years old, and yes, I'm still using it as a professional work, but the other one is the OM-1, what is way better performing with the autofocus, ISO, image quality, everything. But I had one problem with the OM-1. The look. I know professional photographers 90% doesn't care about the look, but for me the look is everything. That's why I'm still keeping this camera with me. And I really love this camera, but this camera is not speaks to me. And that's the thing why I don't like the other camera brands, because they are look like a machine, not a camera. I really love the vintage feel, the vintage look. So the OM-3, the Pen F, it's a perfect camera. If you haven't seen my past video about the OM-1 and the OM-1 Mark II, you have to watch it, because most of the specification of the OM-3 is equal with the OM-1 Mark II. And the last years when I talked about the OM system cameras, I was disappointed because they killed the urban street photo category and they just focused only the wildlife and nature photographers. And guess what? 1 year later, they are opening the borders for urban and street photographers. The new OM-3 got the look of the old OM-1 camera. Not this camera, but the SLR camera, what was an analog film camera back in the day. The only difference is this dial, what they bring from the Pen F series. Both of the cameras has magnesium body, but the outside for the OM-1 and the OM-5 cameras is plastic. Now the OM-3 is metal in the outside as well. It got the same TruePix 10 processor what the OM-1 has, and also the stacked CMOS sensor what is also inside the OM-1 cameras. I'm not sure why OM system brings back the street photography vibe, maybe for sentimental reason, but maybe because other brands are bring back as well. Of course, Leica cameras has always the line for street photography, and Fuji has the line for this street photography analog look. But for example, in the past years, Nikon bring back also this vintage look. So maybe this is a marketing reason, but I'm really happy. I really love the dial on my Pen F camera, and I use the monochrome function a lot. You have 4 modes. The first is the monochrome, and even in the monochrome version you have 4 profiles you can choose from. My personal favorite is the second profile, and I already did a POV photo session just only shooting monochrome. That video will be coming soon. I will put the link here so you can see it. And even in the monochrome mode you can dial a lot of settings, from the sharpness, from the contrast, the shadows, the colors, everything. And yes, you can dial the colors even it's like monochrome. The second one is the color option. I can describe, it's kind of like you are editing the photos before you taking the picture. So if you have some preferences, for example, you want the red, like less red on the pictures, or you want more green on the pictures, you can dial all the thing. It looks like a spider web color chart where you can dial all the colors. The middle one is the third one, so I can say it's like default. And then it comes the art. I have mixed feeling with the art mode, because for me it's a little bit gimmicky. I'm sure if you're a professional photographer or medium photographer, you will not use it. It's okay when you're starting out and you just mesmerize with the different options. There is like a grainy options, pinhole option. Let's go through what we have. Pop art 1, pop art 2, soft focus, pale light color, light tone, grainy film, pinhole, diorama, cross process, that's a green one, and the red one option. I don't know who want to use only green photos, like I'm taking a picture and all of the things are green. I mean, and all of the things are red. I don't know, maybe for a few shots you can play with it, but if you are a professional, you definitely not use it. And the last one is the CRT version, where you can dial all the colors you want to use. And let me tell you, all of these functions is only affecting the JPEG photo. The RAW is RAW. So when you're shooting, you will get two photos, one RAW pictures and one JPEG. This is kind of ready to wear, so you don't have to edit, or if you don't know how to edit, it's perfect. But as a professional photographer, for longevity, the RAW is a must-have. I love the switch on and off button, however it's very small and I'm very what if it's broken, because it's not so beefy as the other ones. So for example, look at the PenF. The PenF has like, and also on the OM-1 it's like very ruggedly built. We finally got a dial button for the photo and the video and the SQ. So if you wanna switch, you don't have to use the main dial, it's directly here, so you can easily and faster switch from the photo and the video mode. I mean, I don't care to switch here because it's not a big deal, but the manual mode is here and the video mode is here, so I have to turn like this one, but it's like fast. But if you want faster, you have the option now. What I don't like about the OM-1 cameras, that the menu button is here. So most of the time I'm using like one-handed the camera, or maybe I'm using the LCD. Very hard to reach the menu button, to not touch the LCD here, so I not really like that way. So here it's really good. I don't have any button here, just only the switcher button for the photo video and the switch on and off. One thing I don't like is the video recording button. What is very close to this button, I barely can hit the rec button. I not really feel when I'm hit the rec. Like here, it's like way dialed. I can easily select from here, from the PenF, what is like not a video camera at all. And on the OM-1 camera, way understandable and way detailed where is the button and when I'm just turn on and off. The good news is the battery is the same as the OM-1 cameras, the BLX1. I don't know all the details about the camera, but I know two differences. One is the viewfinder. The viewfinder on the OM-1 camera is 5.7 million dots, meanwhile the OM-3 camera only has 2.3 million dots. I genuinely think the OM system cameras has the best stabilization in the market. All of the cameras has the 5-axis stabilization. The OM-1 has 8.5 step stabilization, the OM-3 has only 7.5 step stabilization, what is still very good. It has only one card slot, and I'm guess 90% of the photographers or the professional photographers says you have to use cameras which has 2 card slot. And to be honest, I'm shooting with the Olympus and OM system cameras in the past 7 years, and only the OM-1 camera has 2 card slot. And even it has 2 card slot, I never used 2 card. Yes, maybe it's my fault, but I never had any fault with it. So yeah, I have like mixed feeling with that, because I know I have to use 2 cards because like redundancy and safety, but I never used and I never had any issue with that. And the PenF has 1 card slot and I don't have any problem with it. But the funny things, the OM-3 has only 1 card slot, and I'm saying like, oh, why is not 2 card slot? But as I said, I never used 2 cards, even with my 2 card slot camera. So on the left side you can find the USB-C and the micro HDMI connection. You can use your camera with a power bank via the USB-C, and you not just only charge your camera, but you can still use it while you are charging your camera. They thought about the videographers. It has a headphone and a microphone connection, what is very useful if you wanna hear what you are recording. The OM-3 is a Micro Four Third camera system, same as the other Olympus and OM system cameras. If you can be questionable if you need more megapixel or not, but for me it's totally fine. I mainly use fixed lenses and I'm always frame my picture. That means I'm barely crop my images, so I don't need too much megapixel. But it has an option for 80 megapixel. but the 80 megapixel is only JPEG. So if you want to shoot high resolution photos, you are able to. And you can decide if you want only the highest JPEG photo or you want the highest JPEG photo with the RAW. I highly recommend the RAW for longevity. We also have built-in ND filters, the live ND filter and the live graduated ND filter. This feature, especially the graduated ND filter, still revolutionary. I think this function one of the best feature of the OM system cameras. However, I'm not really using it because I don't need it. But if you are a wildlife, nature or even interior photographer, you will love it. The live ND is similar than the regular ND filter what we put on the lens. It's very useful if you want to shoot a waterfall or something floating, but the graduated ND filter is revolutionary. With the graduated ND filter, you can choose which part of your image you want to go down with your exposure. Let's say you are shooting an interior where on the left or the right side you have a window. You can place the graduated ND filter where is the window, so you can expose down, so you don't have to do like multiply shots, because now you have a perfectly composed image with the graduated ND filter. I'm always telling to everyone the OM system and the Olympus cameras has the best weather ceilings. IP53 certified, what means it's dust, splash and freeze proof. But I have to tell you, my Olympus Pen F camera, what doesn't have any weather ceiling certification, it's still very rock solid, and I shoot it with in the desert, in the snow. I went to skiing in the -20 Celsius. I used it in the rain, everywhere, and never had any problem because it's very ruggedly built. Now let's talk about the video features of the OM-3. In video mode there is the vertical shooting option. Your video will be shown on your laptop in vertical version, so you don't have to switch or look your laptop this way. It's already in vertical format. There is AI subject detection, what is in the OM-1 Mark II cameras. You can choose like dogs, cats, birds, animals, humans, cars, plane, a lot of things. I think the OM system has the best stabilization in the market, and you can give the camera for a very shaky-handed person and the video will still turns out very smooth. The autofocus improved a lot on the OM-1 Mark II camera compared to the Mark I, and the OM-3 has the same everything as the OM-1 Mark II. It means the autofocus is really great. And it's not only competitive with other camera brands, but for example, I take it to the field with the Sony a7 IV, and a lot of times the autofocus was faster than the Sony a7 IV. But let's talk about the cons. The OM system has its own lock format, the OM Lock 400, but as you see on the waveform, it's still not as long as other cameras' lock profile. What means we still don't have a huge dynamic range. We got two cinema profile, but it has a catch. It has two codec mode, the H.265 and the H.264. And if you want to use the pre-made cinema profiles on the OM-3, you have to switch to the H.264, what is only 8-bit. What means you have less dynamic range and less color. The first cinema profile turns your blue color to turquoise, and also the full look little bit like pastel-y. The second cinema profile is more toward to the cyan, more tintish vibe. So who is this cinema color profile for? I think if you need fast action with color editing, or you don't understand deeply how the color grading is working, this is a good solution. For me, who I really love to play around with colors and want more dynamic range, I still stick with the 10-bit. And let's finally talk about the price. The price will be around $2,000. What is for me a no-brainer. If I have to choose between the OM-1 Mark II or the OM-3, I will definitely pick the OM-3. Yes, there are a few minor differences between the OM-1 Mark II, for example the 2-card slot or the viewfinder, but overall you got the same camera in a very beautiful body. I'm really curious, what do you think? Do you wait it for the Pen F2, or are you happy with the OM-3? Do you want something more, or are you happy with everything? Let me know in the comment. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.